Hello and welcome to another edition of An English Guy Watching Wrestling. I'm the English Guy, I'm Nick. Thank you so much for clicking on another video, I really do appreciate it. In this one, we're going to be covering the 30th of June 2021 edition of AEW Dynamite, and what a show it was, just outstanding stuff. So with that being said, drive right into it. Opening matchup was between Penta, Miro and Eddie Kingston versus the Young Bucks in a non-title match, and if Penta and Eddie Kingston were to win the match, they will get a shot at the AEW Tag Team titles, were held by the Young Bucks at a future date. And that date is now going to be next week, the 6th of July, I want to say. Actually, I'm not too sure what time. Dynamite is on next week, so I'll just say next episode of Dynamite. But in the past, AEW have opened Dynamite days, and pay-per-views, to be fair, have opened their shows with these kind of matches and have involved the Young Bucks, and more times than not, they've been spectacular. And boy, was this spectacular. This was an incredible match between four incredible wrestlers, no other way to say it. And since Penta and Eddie have been tagging together, it's the old Penta and Eddie that you saw many times before in the past. Obviously, they're long-time close friends outside the ring and in the business, and they showed it here. The chemistry between all four of these men was just incredible. And knowing the Young Bucks, that's not uncommon, to be completely honest with you, but it showed even more in this matchup. But I got to give the team in the matchup, not just because they won, to Penta and Eddie. They were just firing on all cylinders times two. They did everything very, very well together. They worked so well as a cohesive tag team. But this matchup was just spectacular, and there's no other way to say it. It was amazing. And when they open the matches like this, Dynamite and AEW programming, it just sets the night for what is going to be a great night, which it was overall, to be completely honest with you. But this was a hell of a match. And, these tag team matches just seem to really set the bar for the shows of what they're about. This was no exception, because this was AEW Dynamite's last shows before they went go back on the road. Obviously, they've been in Jacksonville, Florida for many months now, over a year, because of the pandemic. But now, of course, now the world is starting to open up again. Sorry, they are going on the road next week. They're in Miami, which is great. But they signed off the Young Bucks their run. Penta and Eddie, of course, their run in Jacksonville with the Danish Place shows in truly spectacular fashion. And now, of course, Eddie Kingston and Penta do have an AEW World Tag Team title match. And as I said before, no other way to say it, this matchup was just incredible, absolutely incredible. So definite thumbs up to all four men in this absolutely amazing match. So thumbs up indeed for sure. So there we go. Next matchup was between Jack Evans and Jungle Boy, and this was going to be a bit of a landmark for Jungle Boy, because if Jungle Boy was to win this matchup, he would become the first wrestler in AEW to get to 50 wins in AEW, which is just ridiculous. And Jungle Boy is, I've said it before, the workhorse of AEW, because he's had more matches in AEW than anybody else. And that's just incredible in itself. Facing one of the best high flyers and one of the best athletes AEW has, and just in wrestling full stop, Jack Evans. And this was also Jungle Boy's first Dynamite match since his match of the year contender against Kenny Omega for the AEW World Title, recently. And if you've not seen that match between Jungle Boy and Kenny Omega, seek it out. It is an incredible match. But speaking of incredible matches, this was another one, to be fair, between two very evenly matched wrestlers. And the start of the match was really surprising me in a really good way. Just simple headlock wrestling, counter wrestling takedowns. Nothing truly over the top, nothing truly crazy as they've done before, as these two men can do. But they really paced this match up brilliantly, to be fair. It was a very, very well told matchup. And when these two men are in the ring with two together, you're just going to get a heck of a match. And you did here. This was cracking stuff between two of AEW's very best. And I think Jungle Boy winning was the right call after his spectacular match with Kenny Omega, which he unfortunately lost. But a landmark for the man himself to get to 50 wins. That's incredible in itself, to be honest. And not to take it away from Jack Evans, because Jack did things in this matchup I've not seen him do for a long time, to be honest with you. Just simplistic wrestling, counter wrestling, great athleticism. But these two men have it in spades, and this was truly fantastic stuff. I really couldn't fault this match at all. And I loved the pacing, the way it all together. And Jungle Boy, as of late, has just been rising the ranks of his work rate, his wrestling. And I think no doubt about it, he's going to be a future champion. Ring of Honor. What belt he's going to hold? Who knows? That head scratch wasn't part of it. Not that. It's just a genuine itch. But no, this matchup was absolutely amazing. So definitely, again, thumbs up to both men for this one for sure. So cracking stuff. So there we go. Next matchup was Miro defending the AEW TNT title against Brian Pillman Jr., who has been on a real roll in AEW as of late with the Varsity Blondes, and of course as a singles competitor. And I was really looking forward to this match because of the unique style clashes. I mean, Miro is a brute in the nicest possible sense, but he's also got the incredible athleticism, and he does. It's incredible the stuff he can do for a guy his size. And this matchup was one of the most unique but better TNT title defenses I've seen from Miro, and that's saying something because he's had some really good ones. But Brian Pillman Jr., the way he worked this matchup was very well put together. He was the underdog because Miro has been on an absolute tear as of late in AEW. I think he's the only currently singles wrestler who's undefeated in AEW. I don't think he's lost any matches since being there as a singles competitor, that is. But even though Pillman Jr. lost, this was probably his easiest best showing in AEW today as a singles wrestler because of the way he works it. He knows he was the underdog, but he did everything he could to really fight back, kind of like the scrappy underdog, shall we say, in his roundabout way. And of course, him being a Pillman, he knows his way around the ring, he knows how to fight, and he did very, very good stuff in this matchup. I enjoyed this one. Even though Miro won, I think Brian Pillman Jr. did a very, very good job here as being a very credible wrestler that almost got to that part where he was going to take Miro out and possibly get a chance to win the title. But unfortunately, Miro, as I said, has been an absolute tear as of late. So him winning was something I kind of expected, but not to take anything away from Brian Pillman Jr. because I thought he was great in this matchup. So definite thumbs up for both men for producing a very entertaining TNT title match. So there we go. Can't say for anything that. The next matchup was Nyla Rose and Vicky Guerrero versus Britt Baker and Rebel. Now, the animosity between Britt Baker and Nyla Rose has been building as of late. And it's kind of cool to see people cheering Britt Baker because she's always been one of the best heels in AEW since she's been heel. But the fans are starting to get behind her, and because maybe it's because she's against Vicky Guerrero, who, let's put it this way, is there any better heel female manager or coach, shall we say, in AEW or professional wrestling than Vicky Guerrero? I don't think there is because she's so good. I've said it before and I'll say it again. She gets over so well just by saying the most two most polite words in the English language, perhaps. Excuse me. It still works. It's great. So I can't really fault that at all. So her teaming with her client, Nyla Rose, was a bit of an unusual matchup, to be fair. But you know what? I know what this was trying to achieve. And I think, in all seriousness, Rebel did hurt herself in this matchup, which is very unfortunate. I think she hurt her leg again, because I know she hurt her leg not too long ago. And I think she's rehearsed it, which is not something you like to see, because she's only just come back. Because you could tell during the match she was starting to drag herself, not crawl, stand. She was dragging herself to the edge of the ring, which unfortunately left Britt Baker on the road to deal with Vicky Guerrero and Nyla Rose. And she did make Vicky Guerrero tap or submit with the lockjaw, but of course Nyla Rose had the final laugh, shall we say, by putting her through a table on the outside. So Nyla Rose showing why she is the native beast. And it's going to be a matter of when, not if, when Britt Baker and Nyla Rose meet for the title, because I'd love to see that match, to be fair. But this was, in all seriousness, a fun tag match, and I know what they were trying to do, and they achieved it very, very well. So, with the unfortunate injury to Rebel, I didn't want to see that. Nobody wants to see that, to be honest, because she's great. But Britt Baker went in there, held her own, and did what she had to do. So, can't say for that. So, all thumbs up to everybody, and I hope Rebel seriously is not hurt. And hopefully, if she is, she does come back soon. So, there we go. Which brought us to the main event. And I'm not going to say my match of the night because there were many match of the night contenders on this show, but this was definitely a match of the night contender, if not match of the year contender, first ever time meeting between MJF and Sammy Guevara, and this matchup has been building for a while. The bickering back and forth on social media between these two, and of course, these two are arguably two of the future champions of AEW. Sammy Guevara has been on the roll of his career in AEW to date. MJF is arguably the best heel in AEW, bar none. He's got such a great gift of being a fantastic heel. His in-ring work, his mic skills are just levels above his experience. It really is. Sammy Guevara is just showing to show what he can really do, and he's starting to show it in spades. And when he put these two together, for the first time ever, I wasn't too sure what kind of match they were going to have. I was half expecting like a more cheating style from MJF, as we can do. But no, they went out there and they produced an incredible back and forth matchup, which had me guessing who the heck is going to get the advantage here. And the fact they worked it out was very, very clever. And I just thought how these two worked it was just world class. Because first time ever meeting between these two, and obviously the Pinnacle versus the Inner Circle, these two men are kind of the epicenter of each member's faction at the moment. But they made it work in spades, ×5. Not ×2, ×5. And I just thought how they did it was phenomenal. And the work rate from MJF as a heel was just on form. He hasn't had a matchup in singles action for a while, but you know what? He did it brilliantly, and he showed why he's the best heel AEW has. And Sammy Guevara, his style always a bit more high risk, but you know what? He made it work in his matchup, and the way he worked it was just on point with MJF's offense and defense as well. MJF, did win the matchup due to outside interference by Sean Spears hitting the chair over Sammy Guevara's head. And you know what? It was kind of the right choice to do, because even though Sammy is on the roll of his career in AEW, MJF and the Pinnacle kind of needed a win after Stadium Stampede. They got it. Very unique fashion, but seriously, cannot give nothing but a huge thumbs up to both men for producing an absolute belter of a match, because it was high flying, it was hard hitting, it was great submission wrestling, great counter wrestling. This matchup had everything that you'd want from a first time meeting between two of AEW's very best. This was an outstanding contest for sure, and a brilliant way to close Dynamite, and honestly a great Dynamite in overall fashion to close out their run in Jacksonville. I know they were returning to Jacksonville in August, I believe. I'm not sure when in August, but they were returning. But you know what? They deserve every ounce of success they had, because if they ended their run in Jacksonville with this kind of show, it's just going to be bright lights, and everything shining their way in the future. And this was a hell of a Dynamite, no joke, to top off the run in Jacksonville. And definite thumbs up to everybody involved in the show for producing just fantastic stuff. No other way to say it. And on that positive note, I will end the review here. So thank you so much for watching. I will see everybody next time. Until next time, take care.